Yo, what's up everybody? Tonight we're talking about a country that's been through more drama than a Real Housewives reunion. Give it up for Eritrea. This East African nation has seen it all. Ancient empires, colonization, a fight for independence that would make Rocky proud, and a whole lot of challenges along the way. But hold up, don't sleep on Eritrea just yet. This country is full of surprises, and trust me, it's got a story that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. We're talking about a land with a history as rich and flavorful as its coffee. A land where ancient civilizations thrived, leaving behind secrets whispered in the wind. And let's not forget the resilience of the Eritrean people, who have overcome countless obstacles with the strength of 1,000 suns. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive deep into the heart of Eritrea. Let's rewind the clock a bit, shall we? Way back before Netflix and chill was even a thing, Eritrea was already making history. We're talking about a region that was bumping as far back as 800 BC, pre-colonial elder, the Kingdom of Damp, with its fancy gold jewelry and connections to the Queen of Sheba, was the place to be. Fast forward a few centuries, and the Aksumite Empire takes center stage. These guys were the real deal. With their own written language, coins, and even their own brand of Christianity, they built towering obelisks that still stand today like ancient skyscrapers defying the test of time. And get this, they even had their own version of the Olympics, complete with chariot races and wrestling matches. Now that's what I call entertainment. But like all good things, the Aksumite Empire eventually faded, making way for new chapters in Eritrea's story. But one thing's for sure, those ancient roots run deep, shaping the identity of this nation to this very day. Hold up, wait a minute, let's talk about colonization. It's the party crasher nobody invited, but it sure showed up anyway. In the late 19th century, Eritrea got caught in the crosshairs of European powers hungry for land and resources. Colonial-era citizen Italy swooped in and claimed Eritrea as its own, kicking off a period of exploitation and oppression. Imagine someone barging into your house, rearranging your furniture, and then telling you it's their house now. Not cool, right? Well, that's basically what happened to Eritrea. The Italians tried to impose their language, culture, and way of life on the Eritrean people. They built fancy buildings and infrastructure, but let's be real, it wasn't for the benefit of the Eritreans. It was all about extracting wealth and resources for the benefit of the Italian Empire. But hey, at least they left behind some delicious pasta recipes, right? Silver linings, people, silver linings. But guess what? The Eritrean people weren't about to take this lying down. They were like, nah, fam, this is our house and we're taking it back. Independence fighter. And so began the struggle for independence, a movement fueled by the unwavering spirit of the Eritrean people. From the mountains to the valleys, they rose up against their oppressors, fighting for their right to self-determination. This wasn't just a fight for land, it was a fight for dignity, for identity, for the right to chart their own destiny. The struggle was long and arduous, a true test of endurance and resilience, but through it all, the Eritrean people never gave up hope. They organized, they strategized, and they fought tooth and nail for their freedom. Think of it like a real-life David and Goliath story, but with more mountains, more guerrilla warfare, and a whole lot more determination. And in the end, guess who came out on top? That's right, the Eritrean people. Section 5, Independence Day, now what?
Finally, in 1991, after decades of struggle, Eritrea tasted the sweet nectar of freedom. The celebrations were off the hook. People were dancing in the streets, fireworks lit up the sky, and the air was thick with the joyous cries of a nation reborn. But once the confetti settled and the hangover from the Independence Party wore off, reality set in. Building a new nation from scratch is no walk in the park. It's like trying to bake a cake with no recipe, no ingredients, and a slightly wonky oven.
Eritrea faced a mountain of challenges, a war-torn economy, lack of infrastructure, and the daunting task of uniting a diverse population under one flag. It was like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded while riding a unicycle. Not easy, my friends, not easy at all, but hey, at least they were free, right? And with freedom came the opportunity to shape their own destiny, to build a brighter future for generations to come. Section 6, Authoritarianism casts a shadow.
But here's where things take a bit of a turn. Remember that whole freedom and democracy thing? Well, it didn't quite pan out the way many had hoped. The government, led by President Isaias Afwerki, tightened its grip on power, cracking down on dissent and limiting political freedoms. It's like throwing a killer party and then suddenly changing the music to elevator music and confiscating everyone's drinks. Not exactly the vibe, right?
Critics accused the government of human rights abuses, suppression of the press, and indefinite military conscription. It was like the government took a page out of a dystopian novel and nobody was feeling the plot twist. This authoritarian turn cast a long shadow over Eritrea's hard-won independence, leaving many wondering if the sacrifices had been in vain. Section 7: Isolation, a double-edged sword.
As if things weren't complicated enough, Eritrea also found itself increasingly isolated on the international stage. Border disputes with neighboring Ethiopia didn't exactly win them any popularity contests. It's like being the new kid in school who accidentally sat at the popular kids' table and then spilled juice all over the head cheerleader. Awkward.
Sanctions were imposed, foreign aid dwindled, and Eritrea became increasingly insular. It was like being stuck in a time warp with the rest of the world moving on without them. But here's the thing about isolation: it can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it limits opportunities for growth and development. On the other hand, it can foster a sense of self-reliance and national pride. It's like being the only kid on the block with a treehouse. Sure, you might be a little lonely, but you also get to make all the rules. Section 8: Resilience, the Eritrean spirit. But let's not forget about the Eritrean people. They've been through a lot, but their spirit remains unbreakable. They're like those inflatable punching bags that just keep bouncing back no matter how hard you hit them.
Despite facing economic hardship, political repression, and international isolation, they continue to persevere with remarkable resilience. They've learned to adapt, to make do with what they have, and to find joy in the simplest of things. It's a testament to their strength, their determination, and their unwavering belief in a brighter future.
They haven't let the challenges define them. Instead, they've used them as fuel to keep moving forward. They're like those tiny but mighty ants that can carry objects many times their own weight. They may be small, but they're mighty. Section 9: Achievements against all odds. And you know what? Even in the face of adversity, Eritrea has managed to achieve some pretty remarkable things.
They've made significant strides in improving healthcare and education, especially for women. They've invested in renewable energy, aiming to become a green energy powerhouse, and they've maintained a relatively low crime rate, making Eritrea one of the safest countries in Africa.
It's like acing a test when you haven't even been allowed to attend class. Talk about overachievers! These achievements, however small they may seem, are a testament to the ingenuity, hard work, and unwavering spirit of the Eritrean people. They're proof that even in the darkest of times, hope can flourish and progress can be made. Section 10: A glimmer of hope on the horizon. And guess what? There's a glimmer of hope on the horizon.
In recent years, there have been signs of a potential thaw in Eritrea's relations with the international community. The peace agreement with Ethiopia in 2018 was a major breakthrough, opening up new possibilities for cooperation and development. It's like when two feuding families finally decide to bury the hatchet and share a plate of cookies.
Sanctions have been lifted, and foreign investment is slowly trickling back in. It's like a breath of fresh air after being stuck in a stuffy room for far too long. Of course, there's still a long way to go and many challenges remain, but hey, at least they're heading in the right direction, right? Section 11: Eritrea poised for greatness. So there you have it, folks. The story of Eritrea is a complex and multifaceted one, full of highs and lows, triumphs and setbacks. It's a story of resilience, determination, and the unwavering spirit of a people who've overcome countless obstacles. Eritrea may be a small country, but it's got a big heart and even bigger potential. As Eritrea embarks on this new chapter, let's hope that it can finally break free from the shackles of its past and embrace a brighter future. A future where peace, prosperity, and freedom reign supreme. A future where Eritrea can finally take its rightful place on the world stage, shining bright like the diamond in the rough that it truly is. And that's our show for tonight. Keep it real, keep it 100, and always remember, Eritrea, we see you. Peace out.